6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Abdurrafe Suhail. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has reaffirmed coalition government's commitment to put country on path of development and prosperity. President has stressed the need to promote bilateral relations in diverse fields with Malaysia, Portugal, Kosovo, Lithuania and Ecuador. Economic Coordination Committee of Cabinet has directed Petroleum Division to supply indigenous gas to fertilizer plants to meet urea requirement in the country. Pakistan and the United States have agreed to advance transition to renewable energy. All Parties Hurriyat Conference says fascist Modi government is carrying out massacres and destruction on a massive scale in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And in qualifier match of Pakistan Super League, Lahore Qalandars will take on Multan Sultans in Lahore today. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif has said the coalition government is making all-out efforts to bring the economy out of prevailing quagmire and put the country on path of development and prosperity. Talking to a delegation of Council of Pakistan newspapers editors in Islamabad today, he said the fears of default have ended now due to prudent policies of the government. About ongoing talks with International Monetary Fund, the Prime Minister expressed the confidence that agreement with the IMF will be inked very soon. He said the government is cognizant of the sufferings of common people due to prevailing situation, emerged due to acceptance of the strict conditions of the IMF by the previous government. The Prime Minister lauded the role of all the coalition partners for running the government's affairs effectively, saying that the government is united and moving ahead to bring the country out of present situation. To control inflation, he said the government is committed to ensuring austerity and providing relief to poor, especially during Ramadan. Shehbaz Sharif said friendly countries including Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar and China extended support to Pakistan in trying times. Newly appointed envoys of Malaysia, Portugal, Kosovo, Lithuania and Ecuador presented their credentials to President Dr. Arif Alvi in Islamabad today. They also made separate calls on the President. Welcoming the High Commissioner of Malaysia, the President said Pakistan wants to further strengthen bilateral relations with the country in areas of trade, defense, education, tourism, science and technology. During his meeting with the ambassador of Portugal, the President said Pakistan and Portugal have great scope of cooperation in the fields of trade, agriculture and investment, and Portuguese companies should invest in Pakistan in diverse fields. Talking to ambassador of Kosovo, the President said that Pakistan is desirous of promoting closer cooperation with Kosovo and being an emerging market offers numerous investment opportunities. During a meeting with the ambassador of Lithuania, the President highlighted the need to develop a mechanism increasing mutual trade and cooperation. Talking to the ambassador of Ecuador, the President said Pakistan looks forward to enhancing political, economic, trade and cultural relations with Ecuador by developing institutional frameworks for the purpose. The Economic Coordination Committee of the Cabinet has directed Petroleum Division to supply indigenous gas to urea fertilizer plants till 31st May this year to meet the urea requirements in the country for Kharif season. The decision to this effect was taken at the ECC meeting presided over by Finance Minister Ishaq Dar in Islamabad today. During the meeting, the ECC considered and deliberated on the summary submitted by Ministry of Industries and Production on urea fertilizer requirement for Kharif crops. The ministry also presented details on the demand, production and domestic production gap of urea fertilizer in the country for 2023 season. Minister for Energy Khurram Dastagir says duration of power load shedding will be minimum in the coming summer as compared to last year owing to the addition of 2000 megawatt from Thar coal to the national grid. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad today, the minister said since April 2022, as many as 2000 megawatt of additional electricity has been injected in the national grid system. This news bulletin comes to you from Radio Pakistan. Pakistan and the United States have agreed to advance transition to renewable energy and promote a more stable, secure and prosperous energy future for both the countries. The understanding was reached at an energy security dialogue in Islamabad chaired by Minister for Energy Khurram Dastagir Khan and US Department of State Assistant Secretary for Energy Resources Geoffrey Pyat. Under the commitment, the United States will help Pakistan reach its goal of 60% renewables by 2030. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Hina Rabbani Khar held a meeting with Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland on the sidelines of Commonwealth Day celebrations in the United Kingdom. During the meeting, they explored ways to strengthen Commonwealth values and take organisation forward at a time of unprecedented stress in the multilateral system. Pakistan says it does not need unsolicited advice from anyone on how to cope with the challenges it faces. This was stated by Foreign Office spokesperson Mumtaz Zara Baloch while responding to a question regarding statement of former US Special Representative on Afghanistan Zalmay Khalilzad. The spokesperson said, "A resilient nation, Pakistan will come out stronger from the present difficult situation." International Day to Combat Islamophobia was observed across the country today. In his message, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the day is a call for action to stamp out poison of anti-Muslim hatred. He said discrimination diminishes us all and we must stand up against it. Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif has said that on International Day to Combat Islamophobia, Pakistan joins the world community in seeking an end to all forms of hatred, profiling and discrimination against Muslims on the basis of faith. In a tweet, he said the Islam, like other religions, stands all for tolerance, respect, peace and human development. At the UN, Pakistan has called for bridging the digital gender divide in a bid to achieve gender equality and ensure the right to education of women and girls everywhere. Chairperson of the National Commission on the Status of Women, Niloufar Bakhtiar, said this while speaking at the expert panel of UN Commission on the Status of Women's 67th session. She underlined the need to mobilize resources and technical assistance to support millions of women and girls who have missed out on the right to education. Incarcerated chairman of All Parties Hurriyat Conference, Musarrat Alam Butt, has said that after failing to subdue Kashmiri's resolve for freedom, the fascist Indian government is carrying out massacres and destruction on a massive scale in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In a message from New Delhi's infamous Tihar jail, Musarrat Alam Butt said, "On one hand, Indian troops are killing and maiming the Kashmiri youth, and on the other hand, the Indian authorities are confiscating the properties of the people to punish them for opposing India's illegal occupation of their homeland." Saudi Arabia has expressed willingness of investment in Iran if the constructive dialogue continues to benefit both the countries. In a tweet today, Minister of Finance Mohammad Al-Jaddan said that investment opportunities in Iran are possible as long as there is a goodwill. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia's cabinet at a meeting chaired by King Salman said it hopes the dialogue would benefit the two countries and the region in general for enhancing regional and international peace and security. In the qualifier match of Pakistan Super League, Lahore Qalandars will take on Multan Sultans at Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore at 7 p.m. today. And now the weather report. Partly cloudy and cloudy weather with chances of rain, thunderstorm with gusty winds is expected in Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, South Punjab, Balochistan and Sindh during the next 12 hours. And now the headlines once again. Prime Minister has reaffirmed coalition government's commitment to put country on path of development and prosperity. President has stressed the need to promote bilateral relations in diverse fields with Malaysia, Portugal, Kosovo, Lithuania and Ecuador. Economic Coordination Committee of Cabinet has directed Petroleum Division to supply indigenous gas to fertilizer plants to meet urea requirement in the country. Pakistan and the United States have agreed to advance transition to renewable energy. All Parties Hurriyat Conference says fascist Modi government is carrying out massacres and destruction on a massive scale in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And in qualifier match of Pakistan Super League, Lahore Qalandars will take on Multan Sultans in Lahore today. And that is all for now. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.